Racing is a dangerous sport. I know, that's just a no-brainer, but it has to be said. NASCAR has had its fair share of deadly reminders, unfortunately, that have backed this fact. What has really stayed in my mind, though, is the relationship that NASCAR has between itself and inherent danger in the minds of the fans. I'm not going to claim that NASCAR fans are watching to see 40 men and thousands of spectators in danger, at least not consciously leading their reasoning on that. Over and over again, I've seen tweets, Reddit posts, YouTube comments, and more that say over and over again that one of the reasons NASCAR isn't as good anymore is because all of the danger has been taken out of the sport. Sounds like a great argument. Just ask Ryan Newman and his family their thoughts on it. With this, I don't think that in the slightest fans are hoping for pain, suffering, or injury. Call it a hunch, but I also personally don't think NASCAR fans are all like that. Not even close. What I think it is that we like to see balancing on the razor's edge. The skill and bravery of a NASCAR driver is a mix that none of us outside of their circle will ever truly understand. But the closer we do come to understanding it, and the more we appreciate what these athletes do, the more we can fully realize what one of the main underlying reasons are to why we like the sport so much. The razor's edge they balance on induces fear into what happens when the finicky control that they cling onto vanishes. The result usually being crashes that can often defy death. On the fan side, the feelings of fear have also shown similarities in how the body reacts to feelings like anger, surprise, anxiety, pride, and love. This can also explain partly our heightened emotions when we root for a specific driver or watch certain races. This feeling also is like having an adrenaline rush, a feeling that can all too easily become addictive. Sports in general open the door to this, but in our corner, as NASCAR fans, it truly breaks the door off the hinges. Recently, over the past few years though, fans and NASCAR itself have been blurring what seems to be a previously defined line. As I stated earlier, fans had, over the past few years, become more vocal about how safe drivers are today and how that sense of danger was gone. This ignorance was punctuated in the 2010s when numerous drivers had injuries, like Eric Almirola and Eric McClure, while Austin Dillon had the scariest crash in the last 15 years at Daytona. Thankfully, fans have come to their senses a bit more after we nearly lost the aforementioned Ryan Newman. But I do think that this relative addiction to danger and thus fear is something that has bled into NASCAR officiating. When you look back at Newman's scary crash in the 2020 Daytona 500, it's hard to not notice that what lap it was on. 209 of 200. The reason there were 9 extra laps being because NASCAR has an unlimited green-white checker attempt rule. This being in place to ensure a green flag finish for every race. This opens up more to the chance for crashes, and seeing how desperation is at a premium at those moments, it'll happen. Crashes, of course, open up to danger. Unsurprisingly, fans love the idea of more racing action. But the 2020 Daytona 500's extended finish definitely crossed a blurry line. So obviously, there's a point to where fans see the danger of the sport overbearing the thrill of it. But while we don't want to see harm done to drivers, it is worth noting that the next week's race at Las Vegas did see a good-sized viewership boost. Danger that seems so far beyond the reasonable person's tolerance only 6 days prior had now become seemingly a draw for tens of thousands of new people to tune in. It's an odd or sick, depending on how you see it, phenomenon that has proven effective time and time again. That bad things and tragedies alike can always bring in eyeballs on TV. To a greater extent, you can see this in the blind following of the violent danger of the NFL, a league that has shown such negligence to its competitors that in the past few years, post-career suicides due to head trauma are semi-normal. Trust me, NASCAR is far from the worst league when it comes to their athletes' well-being by a country mile. but it does push on the boundaries heavily, moving closer to every edge that it can to induce our sense of thrill. So when looking back at what I asserted to start with about NASCAR and its relationship and the fans' relationship with the idea of fear that draws them in, I really can conclude that there's no clear line. Why? Like I said before, the line has blurred heavily. And over the past few years, both paying customers in the fans and the providers of it in NASCAR's sanctioning body have done this. Also, the line is an ever-moving target, changed by an ever-evolving culture, changing cars, and an alternative mentality by a lot of the up-and-coming drivers. Basically, you can never truly pin down how danger draws us in or piques our interest completely for much more than a short set of time. That's really up to the eye of the beholder, which is why I want to pass this topic now to you. Do you think, and if so, how do you think the thrill of danger has led you into becoming a NASCAR fan? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that like button and support and subscribe to the channel for more great NASCAR content. And until next time, have a good one.